All right.
Okay, welcome to AAO Yoga. I hope you've brought your mats and you have stretched and are feeling limber. One of the ideas that we're going to think about today is how we decide whether to trust a stranger, and how that is about to change for businesses, the same way that it changed for lending and borrowers generations ago. And just like borrowers, there's going to be a number for it. So think about this question while I go through this presentation. How does an AI assistant decide which business to trust? And how would you even know where you stand? So we're continuing our entrepreneur series here. Here's our information. I am Amanda, and Andres is on the call as well. I am presenting today. Here are my credentials, and let's just get into this. What do you say? So, Assistive Agent Optimization. That is what we are talking about today. So, for 20 years, if someone had a question, they typed it into Google. And then you had a list of blue links to scroll through. Now, today, when we ask a question, first of all, our questions are much longer and sometimes paragraphs, but we're asking an AI assistant. And there's a handful, not even a handful anymore. There's a plethora of them out there now. And so those answers to your question are getting synthesized and summarized into one answer. You might not even see the sources that these answers are coming from. So the old model assumed that humans were scrolling through, and you could, be ranked 10th or even on the second page and still be seen. But AI collapses all this into one. And you are either named or you don't exist at all in that answer. So this is a categorical change, and it's not an incremental one. The surface went from a page you climb to a recommendation if you are in or out. So this is a trust problem. When the AI assistant answers a question, so let's say we're looking for a firm. Which firm should I hire? It is silently deciding which strangers to vouch for you and for the customer. We have two blind spots here. First, the businesses are blind. They can't tell whether AI trusts you or the business. You cannot tell. It ignores you or describes you wrong. You lose the first conversation with your customers before it even happens. Second, the machine is guessing. Each assistant judges unfamiliar businesses on its own with no shared, transparent standard for who has earned a citation. Neither side has a common reference point. Nothing is standardized. Everything is out there. So here's the thing. This exact thing has happened before. History repeats itself, right? So every time commerce outgrew the personal handshake, we invented a score. So when John Moody in 1909 started selling a small book that graded railroad bonds with letters. So an investor who'd never met the railroad owner can judge its debt at a glance. In 1989, Fair, Isaac and Company introduced the FICO score. So a lender who'd never met you can judge your creditworthiness within seconds. We are all familiar with that 3-digit number. Same pattern both times. A market got too big for personal knowledge, so someone built an independent score that can carry that trust. And in this case, the personal knowledge is a person that is literally scrolling through search results. Today, the AI assistant is the stranger making the judgment. The slot for the score that rates businesses for the machine is still empty. So let's see why this is so powerful. So your FICO score is objective, portable, and improvable. It's the same method for everyone. It travels with you across all of your financial decisions, and there's a formula for you to improve it. So here's the thing. Again, we've solved this exact problem before. Moody's rates bonds, FICO rates borrowers, and AAO rates websites for AI search. AAO stands for Assistive Agent Optimization. And we'll unpack this a bit, but the shape of the idea is already complete. An independent third-party rating that turns "can I trust this?" into one number that both sides can rely on. So what is an AAO score? An AAO score is an independent rating between 0 and 100 about how much AI assistants can trust a certain site, website, a given business. It does the same job that a credit score does. The business finally gets to see where it stands. The machine gets a credible external signal instead of guessing. The number here is just illustrative, but this is what it would look like if you were to run the rubric to get your AAO score. The keyword is independent. It's like FICO. It does not belong to any one lender, one person, one business, or any one AI engine. It's used by all of them. And that independence is what makes it trustworthy on both sides. It's not a private dashboard owned by one engine, and it is published. It's a rating that sits outside any single one. So why is this happening now, not 5 years from now? Well, two anchors. First, more than 800 million people use ChatGPT by the end of 2025. This mainstream behavior is not a novelty. Second is intent. Bain finds about 73% of US consumers have used or would use AI to research products or compare prices. And that is buying behavior. That's the intent. Put them together and you have huge volumes of high stakes trust decisions happening inside of these models every day with no shared standard that's governing them. That is exactly the condition that produced credit bureaus and FICO. Trust infrastructure shows up the moment transactions outrun personal knowledge. And again, in this case, personal knowledge would be the human that's scrolling or searching. So how do we actually score something that seems so fuzzy as trust? This is how it works. Is this just another opaque score? No. The AAO score comes from a published named method. It's an acronym and it's 10 letters long. It's not an easy one to say. DSCRI-ARGDW. 10 gates. Each is a dimension of how findable and citable you are to the AI. The mechanical checkable signals are scored by a rule. The judgment calls are made by a calibrated AI reviewer against a documented rubric. The reason to publish the method is the same reason FICO eventually disclosed its factors. It's an audible score that is trustworthy. Auditable, sorry, not audible. Auditable, sorry. Ugh, long day. So we can audit this score and we can tell what is bringing your score down and how your score can rise. So we can see through these gates what is causing the mistrust between your site and the AI, and there's a way to fix it. So auditable. I'm not going to read all 10 of them, because they're right there, but we're going to it's kind of broken up into groups, and we'll look at that. So for a business, the danger of AI is a front door that the miss is silent. When an assistant does not trust you, it names a competitor, and you don't get a notification for that. There's no rejection email. You don't get to see that things get bounced from your site and go to another one. A score makes the loss visible, and because the gates are known, you can improve it. For a wider ecosystem, one shared open standard beats a dozen engines guessing in private. This is the same upgrade that FICO delivered, from one banker's hunch to a portable, contestable number. So it's solid, we can see the evidence, and we have a way to fix it. So let's bring you back to the big idea here. Trust is becoming infrastructure for the agentic web, the way creditworthiness became an infrastructure for lending. One more time: Moody's for bonds, FICO for borrowers, AAO for AI search. Every era that scaled trust between strangers eventually produced a rating standard to carry it. And for AI search, now is the time. It's this moment right now. So that was not, that went a lot faster than I thought it would. Does anybody need me to go back over anything? Do you have any questions? Some things that you might wonder is, can you game it? So yes, you can. Gates 1 through 9 are predictors. Gate 10 measures the real outcome, whether agents will actually cite you. Gaming the predictors without earning the outcome does not move the score that matters. And is this just SEO renamed? No. SEO optimizes for rank. SEO optimizes for a rank that a human browses. This rates whether a machine will trust and cite you in a single answer. So you might be on the list of firms that are getting recommended, but because there's something about your site that it doesn't trust, it's going to go to your competitor. And so this AAO score will go through your site and find what part of your site isn't solid enough or trustworthy. So we can go back to those 10 gates and look at those. So we can see that the first 5 are foundational. We have reputation, infrastructure of your site, the content. Is your content reputable? Is it providing value? And then the second 5 are more advanced. And running your site through this, you can see actually when you look at each of these, that number that's right above the gate name would be your, oh no, those are the gates. Sorry, I thought that was a 6. Those are the gates. But each one of those would have a score. And so you might pass infrastructure at a 97%, but your reputation would be 50. So that would be something that you would need to look at. So we would ask, why is it 50? Let's look at that. Let's try and build this reputation and get that up to a 97. Let's see. Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm going to jump in real quick. So the idea here is that gate 1 to 9 do the predictive factors, the foundation, DSCRI, which is the discovery factor, the structure of a site, the content and the content semantic display, the reputation. So something like domain authority. And then infrastructure is going to be kind of the web infrastructure that produces the site, that delivers the site. So the first half of that foundation pretty much addresses, can the AI find you, read you clearly, understand what you do, believe what others say, and then can it reach can you reach you to a reliability? That second half, which is here called the advanced half, the ARGDW, we're looking at the authority, how recent your content, the granularity of your content, and then the differentiation of that content from what else is out there. So essentially, gates 1 through 9 do the predictive factors that give you gate 10, which is the weighted citability, which measures the outcome. And so that turns into the big question is, does the AI actually cite you? So what we're looking at in that second half is, are you like recognized? Are you current? Are you specific? And then the distance and the source and of the assistants choosing you to be cited. So all of SEO still applies, and good EEAT still applies, and your money, your life still. This AAO score is an umbrella for SEO, GEO, AIO, all of those acronyms that sit in the digital marketing space.
Yep. I like how it says it's explainable and not arbitrary. It's not just something that somebody pulled out of a hat. It's actually analyzed and shared how you can improve your visibility. So we'll go back down here to our end slide. We want to thank you for attending. We are available through these socials. If you have any questions, we're available here. We'll have more things coming in the future. So if there are no other questions, we appreciate you showing up today. And we hope to see you at some of our future entrepreneur events.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.